Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be doing a outdoor fire alarm system renovation, or whatever you want to call it. It's not like I'm renovating anything, I'm just going to be doing some work on it or upgrading it, so yeah. So obviously you can see that I still have the Kidde 270 SPO up. It's okay, it does the job and it looks but the thing I don't like about it is the fact that it has a screw on the top, which is a pain in the ass to open. And also, I kind of want something different because this has been up for like a year and a half now, and I'm getting kind of bored of it. So this is what I'm going to put up in place of that pull station. Obviously, the BG12 is like the most common pull station there is, so I honestly don't care about putting it outside. And then, of course, I have this old beat-up stopper cover, partially to keep the rain and stuff out, but also at the same time, it would just look kind of cool. All right, so if you have any perception of shapes and you're not stupid, you know that a stopper is not going to fit on this tiny little piece of wood. So what I have is a lovely piece of this is like vinyl, so it's not real wood, it's synthetic wood, and it will do better in an outdoor environment, but also it is large enough to put a stopper on. So I'm just gonna slide this thing out and then put this behind it. Alright, so originally I was literally just going to put up the BG12 in the stopper, and I was going to say, alright, let's call it a day. And then I tested it and it didn't work. So I found out that apparently the wiring I used is actually this cheap, junky stranded cable. It's 22 gauge, so it's like mega thin. But it got so corroded in the rain that it's not being very conductive anymore. And the copper is just creating so much resistance that the alarms were not sounding. So what I did was I went ahead and I just used some better quality cable, and I ran some of that here, so now I can use that. I initially thought that the rain had ruined a bunch of different things, so of course you can see I took off the MTs. I thought that those were broken, and then I took down the pull station. Alright, so anyway, now I can just go ahead and install the BG12 without having to worry about anything. I'm actually kind of glad that the BG12 or the devices weren't the issue, because otherwise that would have been a little more difficult to fix. But wiring is really cheap and really not that hard to correct. So now, of course, all I have to do is just put the wires into the terminals and then tighten them down. Of course, because this is not a panel system and it's just a basic, unmonitored alarm system, there's no resistor or anything. And then, of course, all I do is now just screw it into the back box, like so. Alright, there you go. The only thing left to do is just to put the key in and then lock it. And now, of course, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to install the stopper. So how I'm going to put the stopper on is I'm going to have this thing lined up right there. So that looks about centered. And what I'm going to do is just screw it in like so and put the actual cover on in a minute. So there you go. As you can see, I have the spacer and the stopper cover installed with the BG12 under it. So now all I have to do is put the cover on. Of course, it doesn't look great, but it's all right. I don't really care. All right, so I decided to take down this Wheel Lock MT. Obviously, it is currently under a lot of trees, so there's not much rain or anything that's going to be able to get to it. And if I look inside, you can see that the screws are all really shiny, which shows to me that there's not been much moisture, because if there was water, the screws would be pretty oxidized. However, because of the fact it is fall, as you can see, a lot of the leaves are starting to turn. I'm going to take down this device and cap those wires, just because of the fact that in just a few weeks there's going to be absolutely no leaves, and this device is going to get absolutely drenched, and I don't want to ruin any devices. So the next time I put this up will either be next summer, or if I get a weatherproof box, next week. So I decided to put up this National Time Gentex Commander remote strobe. I have like a billion of these, so even if it does get water damage, it's fine. Currently it is under a lot of leaves, and I do have a weatherproof box on the way for this, so it should be fine. I still am selling these on eBay. They are only $14.95, free shipping, and nobody has bought them so far, so that's unfortunate. The one you're getting will not be one that's been outside before, and they have all been tested and they're all working, so that's pretty cool. Well, there's only one last thing to do, and that's to test it. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why there's like this white residue stuff on the alarms, that's actually a long story, but long story short, I was being an idiot and I like put duct tape on it. Of course, it was like the finest dollar store duct tape, and when I removed it, it left a lot of residue, so that's that. I'll probably clean it off eventually, but right now I'm too lazy. But anyways, let's test it. So lift and pull. I need to put the screw covers back, but let's go see the commander.